Alrighty, hello everybody and welcome into another week here in the SFA. We've got an absolute banger of a watch party coming at you as we got Western Kentucky going on the road, take on the undefeated Tulane Green Wave. This is a really fun matchup between two very active users, and it's going to be a fun time. As always, before we get started, check out our friends over at Home Field Apparel. They are super cool, super comfortable, tons of crazy designs. They actually have Indiana, Purdue coming out tomorrow, as well as some hockey for UMass and UConn tomorrow as well. So we'll check that out later. So that's Friday for those of you guys watching this after game day. But yeah, let's get started. As always, we go through all the rosters, and then we'll jump into the game. And then you might hear Cryo jump in. You might hear more people talk as well as we get this going, as this is a pretty hyped game day. So we're going to start out with Western Kentucky. Not the start they wanted this year after starting out, winning the AAC last season. They're now 1-3, and their one win was a miraculous one over Missouri of all teams, but their quarterback is not Maximus Mays III. They're going with Leon Fox, the guy who led them to the AAC championship last season, the sophomore, the lefty. Fox for Heisman, we all know him. At running back, the SFA player, Jackson Viss. He was a receiving back at a high school, but he's shown some power, so we'll see what he does today. And then the reason that they'll win this game is through Laz Palmer. 2 appearances on BearCave, 2 massive plays, a touchdown, and the game-winning the catch that helped them beat Missouri. So I think if Western Kentucky gets in the win column today, it's going to be on the back of Laz Palmer. They also got James Williams, Chuck Sledge, what a name, and then Ben Smith as well. Tight end, you got Bobby Fulton. SFA player Benny Keuchel on the left tackle spot. Cedric Clemens, not great at center. And you know, this is about an average G5 line. And on the defensive side, you got Doug Lee, Colton Clark. In the middle, you got Colt Mitchell and Caleb Bradley. Their linebackers, Scott just went down with an injury, so probably Quentin Daniel. In the middle will be Reggie Preston. And on the right side, you got Charlie Horton. And at corner, actually some decent corners here. So Dante Jackson, Antonio Harris, and then Mark Newby. I know he is a transfer from Central Michigan. And then Lee Roy Wilson. We've seen him make some plays over the years. And we also got Michael Finley as a strong safety here. And kicker will be Patrick Palmer. 4 of 6 already this season. 74 power and 80 accuracy. So now we're going to go on to the Tulane Green Wave, led by Coach Legacy, really at the center of a ton of controversy this season. And they're 4-0. They're kind of thriving off of it. A big surprise here in the Conference USA. Behind the freshman SFA player, Tracy Potes. He will be playing today. 77 speed. He's good in running and throwing. And then the workhorse back, the man that made this team run, Whoopty Tibbs. He just went down with a torn pec. If you want to see exactly what happened to him, check out the front page. But yeah, they're losing a monster here. He is a big-time power back. He's an athlete coming out of high school. He was, I would say, on par with maybe competing for a Walker Award. That's how good he was playing. So we'll see how they cope with him. Last week, we saw Scott Slaughter get the bulk of the carries, and an 85-speed fullback here as a redshirt freshman is absolutely nutty. So I think he might be the guy we watch today. So you got to watch out for him. Wide receivers: Nate Rogers, Alex Johnson, Brent Holloway, and then the SFA reject Andy Newton. So we'll see if he gets any targets today. At tight end, you got Josh Hines. Their offensive line is going to be very similar. Actually, maybe just a little bit better than Western Kentucky's. On the defensive side, Jay Norton, John Arnold, Marcus Moore, and Kellen Thompson. This linebacker core, Derek Mason, Ross Sykes, and Todd Haynes. And corners, you got Jordan Bennett, Keon Thomas, Andy Moore, and then Brian Henry in the back, along with Joel Massey. And I gotta say, this is one of the better defenses we've seen so far through the first 5 weeks of the season. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this translates to a game day scenario. Their kicker is terrible. Don't expect Greg McBride to be any sort of a hero. But yeah, so that's going to do it for the rosters. And I'm going to put over the overlay from time to time because I'm trying to block scores from getting leaked. That way, everybody can keep their bets going strong. I don't have to void any games, whatnot. So yeah, we're gonna get started here. So we're gonna see Western Kentucky in the all whites, and then we're gonna see Tulane. We'll probably do the all blues for Tulane, but let's check these out here. All right, so we're gonna go white, 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 and then for Tulane, ooh, they have some cool jerseys. This is definitely one of my... Oh! What do we do? Let's see. Do they have the guy, like, holding the flag? That's my favorite one. A lot of different... No, they don't. Okay. Well, we'll just go with the, I mean, we can just go with all blues here. Alright, so we're going to go baby blue versus all white, and Tulane actually has the advantage pretty much in every category besides offense. I think in terms of like the best players are on Western Kentucky's offense because there's no Whoopty Tibbs, but I think as a unit, the best unit on the field is going to be the Tulane defense. So once again, I think this game is going to come down to Laz Palmer and Jackson Viss, the SFA players for Western Kentucky. So we'll see how it all shakes out here in Week 6 as we are going to welcome in Cryo. He is going to commentate with us today. What do you think about this game?
I mean, it's a really interesting game seeing that Tulane's 4-0. And I mean, you pointed it out earlier, but the defense has been one of the key factors as they're holding up their past 4 games. They've held opponents to 57 points total, which is insane. And of course, that was 2 conference games that were deemed teams that weren't as good. But remember, this is a team that could fight for a playoff spot. They're in the same conference as Louisiana in that division. So it's going to be interesting. I'm looking at Tracy Potes to really pick up the slack while Whoopty Tibbs is unfortunately injured. So it's going to be interesting.
So that's who we're going to see first as Tulane gets the kickoff and they get out to the 29. That's Kelvin Henry. So we'll see Tracy Potes come on out. He is the star freshman quarterback. Took a back seat to the Whoopty Tibbs hype as, yes, Slaughter is going to be the main back. So we're going to see for 2 weeks in a row on Watch Party, a fullback try to steal the show. Boise State did it last week. Can we get another one? As Slaughter gets his first carry up the gut and he gets about 10. That's a first down. Now, UE has done a lot of work on the front 7 in the transfer portal. I believe Doug Lee, and then I think there's a defensive tackle as well. So we'll see what they can do today. If they can, as Potes actually keeps this one and falls forward. So 4-0 for Tulane, and I don't think anybody gave them a chance. They had a rough year last year, but now they lead the division, and now everybody's thinking that Conference USA could come down to either Tulane or Louisiana as Slaughter runs another big gain. So 1st and 10 here for the Green Wave. We're already across the 50. We'll see if they can get the reject involved, Andy Newton. I think he is on the field. They're going to audible. As, Potes, he tries to throw that one, hits Slaughter. And that's that miscommunication with the new running back, missed timing. It was supposed to be a fake and then a throw out wide. So those are kind of the growing pains, and they got to figure those out because they're going to be without Tibbs for the next 9 weeks as Potes does not flip that one out. So now a 3rd and long here.
Yeah, and what you're seeing from Potes here is he's trying to play hero ball. And I know that a fullback is not someone that you really want to rely on the offense, but I mean, he's been doing good so far to start off this game. So hopefully they get him involved more.
And we're yamming it deep, and wow, that was an overthrow. Oh, baby. All right, so They stall out here around midfield. We got to see if Tracy Potes can kind of settle down because that was not a great throw. Now I will say with the fullback is when you have an injury, as we get a beautiful punt there, you're not going to really want to change the offensive style, especially because it's been working, right? They become very run heavy with the option and the quarterback keepers. You're going to keep it going. So now we got Leon Fox under center, Jackson Viss in the backfield, and Laz Palmer, bottom of your screen. I got to say, I love these crispy all whites. These all whites are beautiful here for Western Kentucky. Leon goes down. He's sacked at the 1. No safety. But Jay Norton on the first offensive snap.
Yeah, a little miscommunication on the O-line. And going back to what you said, I mean, the reason it's working so well for Tulane, I mean, their offensive line is really, really underrated in the country. I mean, you have that 85 overall right tackle that's really been leading the charge for them, too. So I'd be interesting for them to go away from that.
Safety!
Oh!
We've got a safety here, folks. Tulane puts 2 on the board from the defense. Fox tried to get out of there. He could not. What a start.
TC, this is the second time Tulane's got a safety this season.
Well, I don't know about second time because remember the only score Purdue got in that 20-2 game was the safety, right? So I think it was Purdue getting that as gets that off of a bounce. So remember, guys, if a safety happens, you have to punt the ball back. We don't see safeties all too often here in the SFA. They do happen from time to time.
Yeah, and describe my earlier comment. I am really tired. Anyways.
We're good. We're chilling. As this time he does pitch it out, and a big-time tackle there on James Whitaker. Leroy Wilson, that redshirt senior safety, he's made plays for them for really the entire UE career here as a Hilltopper. As we're going to get a delay give, and they're going to continue to give it to Slaughter. And we still have yet to see a completion here from Potes.
And I mean, I think he's been able to get away with it with Whoopty Tibbs having the season he's had. But I think throwing him into the spotlight, you just don't know if Tracy Potes has what it takes. And this is a big test.
As he hits this one and a broken tackle, that's Brent Holloway. He is the slot guy. So there is a dart there. He might have been a little late on the slant route, but gotta say, got the job done. So now they're in business, up 2-0. Definitely now, anytime a safety comes into play, we're in scoregami range. Gotta love, can we get no more offense? Can we get a 2-0 victory? That would be electric. So he's going to keep it now. Potes, can he cut inside? I thought he should have cut outside, but okay. It's a first down. Left some yardage there on the board.
Yeah, I've never seen TC as excited when that 20-2 scoreline became final.
Dude, just the week he had to be capped off in a Sickos game of the week like that was beautiful. As Potes gets inside the 5, talk about beautiful running. Tracy Potes here early on. He does have a bit of running ability, but not like this. He's no Rayshon Gloop.
Man, no more gloop. I think I'm all glooped out, but
first and goal inside the 5. Can they add a touchdown? They're gonna give it to Slaughter. He breaks one. Touchdown, Tulane. They find the power from the fullback and they go up 2 scores.
I mean, this is the type of offense and this is the type of style of game that Tulane wants to run. What you see from Tulane is that they really just like run the ball nonstop. They really want to control that time of possession because that defense is really stingy and has really stepped up in the early part of the season. And it showed. I mean, 9-0 already. You had the safety and then the quick touchdown after some key runs from Tracy Potes out of all people. So gonna really good offensive drive.
Now, Cryo, I got to ask you, after watching about 4 minutes here, was Whoopty Tibbs a system running back?
Probably not. I think as much as like we want the hot takes, we want to do all that stuff, Whoopty Tibbs is just on another level. Well, he reminds me.
Oh, there goes Jackson Viss. I told you They scouted him as a receiving back, but he is a man of power, running right through the safety here and taking out a linebacker as well.
Of course, you asked me a long question when a big play happens, but great run by Jackson Viss, breaking multiple tackles.
And I
My
was
goodness.
I was just about to talk about how great this defense has been and how in the epic start they just have, and then they give up that one. So we'll see. This time Jackson Viss running again, met in the backfield. So man, a high-powered game already. Obviously not the way they wanted to start on that first drive. 2 plays minus like 15 yards, but 2nd and 8 here, handoff again. And this is the backup running back, Michael Brown. So we've yet to see a throw to Laz Palmer.
Yeah, I think they're doing a good job at least containing him for the most part. I think they know that Laz Palmer is one of those jump ball guys that if the ball's thrown towards him, he can easily get it catch no matter what. So I think what they're doing is putting the best cornerback on him. Stingy coverage, but we'll see what happens.
Well, we're going to throw it here. The lefty, he's jamming it deep. And underthrown. Couldn't quite get it there. A 4th down. So kind of a decision time. You're in no man's land. They do choose the punt team.
It was a very questionable call because Laz Palmer was on one-on-one coverage at the top. You saw that as triple coverage was thrown into there. A questionable call by Leon Fox, but unfortunately they have to just hope their defense can bail them out and get them back on the field.
And it's kind of been the same thing for years, though. The media, they always critique Leon Fox because he's a lefty and maybe he's not highly rated, but he won them an American championship. You got to give him some respect and let him throw those balls sometimes. As this one, another one that Poach gets caught on his offensive line. That's the 2nd throw today that has been tipped. So 2nd and 10. Great start in the running game, not so much in the pass game, but Tulane here 9-0 early on.
Yeah, and I think they're just taking advantage of having that dominant line, having that dominant run offense to where Tracy Post doesn't have to throw that much, but when he does, he can probably get it done. He's a little shaky early on, but I have faith in him.
As dumping that one off, that's going to be short. That's Andy Newton, the SFA reject, making a play, but he is short of the line to gain. So it is going to be a 3-and-out now for Tulane. So we'll give it back to Western Kentucky. And yeah, I mean, I think it was good that that this offense isn't pass first because you don't want to put all your eggs in a freshman quarterback basket, right? No, we've seen in the SFA history that if you run like a max air raid offense with a freshman quarterback, it's just not going to work well, no matter how good they are. So you really need to, regardless of archetype, play in a much more balanced offense, and then once they kind of grow, then you can really rely on the hero ball. As we got Leon Fox keeping it here to the left side, he falls forward, gets about 9, as they're already in plus territory. So inside the 45 here, Palmer, top of your screen, isolated, 2 tight ends set. Fox going to throw this one. Nice pocket, except he tries to escape. He got a little rattled there. Took his eyes off of the downfield and took a sack. I felt like he had a decent pocket, but maybe everything was just covered. Remember, this is an elite Tulane defense in terms of production so far through 5 weeks, so not much has changed. As we get a 3rd and 4 here, they're going to bring a blitz, and he gets it to Laz Palmer, makes the play. There you go, the SFA freshman.
Yeah, and I mean, just to bring that up, I know I brought the points against for Tulane, but like the opponents are only averaging 14 points a game, which is really impressive this early in the season.
As we get now a pass to Bobby Fulton, the tight end, and Western Kentucky is a program that always has good tight ends. They had Smith last year, who was very good and very critical in their AAC championship, and now they got Fulton as well, one of the highest rated players on their team. As they're now inside 25, Leon Fox starting to cook. The Leon for Heisman chance. You can hear him ringing down from the visitors section. As you get a handoff to Jackson Viss, and he gets about 3. So first quarter ticking away here. Bit of a surprising start, but Western Kentucky does not look all that rattled. They're staying in it. They're running their offenses. If you look at the top, it looks like they're doubling Laz Palmer. So just going to dump that off to Jackson Viss, and he runs over 2 men, but he can only get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Tulane's one of those teams that if you are not prepared right out the gate, they will punish you on any level of the field, and it's shown. It's really shown in the early parts of this game.
So 3rd and 7, Fox making an adjustment. Fox, another blitz over the middle and overthrew his man. He had slants running. He just missed everybody. So field goal unit going to trot on out. This is going to be about a 37-yarder from left hash. We'll see if they can pull back within 6. The kick is up, and it's good. Just barely inside that left upright. That was a dangerous one there.
Yeah, and I mean, at least they get a field goal out of it. But going back to Tulane, I mean, you brought it up on patreon.com/the SFA in your playoff push, but you're big on Tulane this season.
Yes. I mean, I was a lot higher on Tulane before the Whoopty-Tibbs injury, but I still think that they could probably make a run. Definitely with Whoopty potentially being back before the LSU game, which is their season finale. So I'm really impressed with the way they're starting this game. You know, you got to rely on the defense, and then their offense is. It doesn't look like the running game has missed a step really. So I'm actually pretty excited with the way they're playing. As Potes, they're gonna run some hurry up. He's yamming that one, and he overthrows again.
Yeah, and I mean, if you want to talk about Whoopty being a system running back, I mean, you just look at those throws, and Maddox just doesn't trust him Potes whatsoever. I mean, and it's kind of showing.
Let's get Slaughter here. He only gets about maybe 1. Yeah, man, Potes. I think it's might be more confidence because he doesn't have that safety net, and then he already had 2 balls tipped, so now he's trying to overthrow these balls. So 3rd and 10, over the middle. This time he hits his man, but once again short of the line to gain, and that's where the experience comes into play. That's 2 drives in a row where he's thrown short of the line to gain on 3rd down. As they are going to go for it, so Legacy getting aggressive here. 4th and 2, man in motion. And triple option, Potes, he keeps it. What a call there from Potes. And that is his potential, running that triple option. A beautiful play there. Gotta love it when they fake that pitch, and that will actually take us to the end of the first frame. So Tulane, the home team, leads 9-3 after a safety and a touchdown. But Western Kentucky got back into it with a field goal. I'm loving this game so far. Very entertaining as we flip the field now back inside the 40. They're crowding the line of scrimmage, and Poach just opens up the lanes, and he gets brought down. Only gets about 3.
Yeah, and I mean, you talk about Tulane possibly making a push, and I mean, this is as much adversity as they can probably face. There's basically the key of their offense going down. The storyline now is if Poach can just keep this team above water before LSU.
Yeah, and it's really good that they got this opportunity in the non-conference before they really get into the meat of their conference play. That way that they can really feel the offense, and dropping this game to Western Kentucky isn't really the end of the world. I mean, if you're looking for CFP aspirations, it could be a tough one, but as we have a beautiful pocket, Poach taking all the time in the world, and they get it off, but they're going to get a flag for offense pass interference. You're not going to be able to sit back there for days and not get a call there, as the offensive linemen, they're going out to block, expecting a quick pass, and then they get way too far downfield. So they're going to back up here, back to the 40. Remember, they don't have a reliable kicking option, so definitely feel like this is 4-down territory. Delayed give to Slaughter. We'll see if he can get there. He breaks 1, and he only gets about 4. So we'll see if they try to pin him deep again or if they go for it. They're going to go for it. So
I mean, I love this call. They got one earlier, so there is a good chance.
All right, Poach. And hits his man once again way short. Nate Rogers really never had a chance, so that's going to be a turnover to Western Kentucky. So the flag really playing a factor there.
I mean, the key factor for Tulane though is that offensive line. Oof, they are doing a outstanding job of keeping Potes, at least giving him enough time. His decision making has been questionable, but shout out to the O line.
Absolutely, as they're going to bring a safety blitz here, but it's a delayed give to Viss, and he gets 4. So Viss having a decent start to the day, averaging over 10. Now we just got to see if Kentucky, if they can settle in, finish a drive. They've survived the big mistake early. They're still in it. Everything's fine. They're not going to get boat raced, as that's going to be a first down. So favorable spot there as well. And remember, this is a team that's used to success. They won the AAC last year when nobody thought they could. They're in a position where nobody believes in them again. This is where they thrive. So 1-3. Fox takes off. He runs over a man, and he is sacked. Would have liked to see him get rid of that, but, you know, that's all right. 2nd and 14. You like that he's not trying to force it, though, and turn the ball over. So Palmer, bottom of your screen again. 2 tight ends set, man in motion. They're going to that short side. And it's going to be a run to that way. And Viss finds a hole, and he gets 10. Slipping right through those blocks, making a lane out of nothing. Gotta say, Jackson Viss is one of those low-rated SFA recruits that has really blossomed. So 3rd and 4. Much more manageable 3rd down here. Another handoff to Viss. Can he get there? Yes, he does. He gets about 8. Fresh set of downs for the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, and just talking about Western Kentucky in general, I mean, very, very rough start to the season. So you hope that this is a game that they can get back on track with.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And all it takes is one great performance to really settle yourself in. And remember, these early season losses, yeah, it hurts, you know, it hurts morale, but the conference games are where it matters. So 2nd and 4 here. Fox, a deep drop. He yams out an open man down the sideline and at the 1, of course. Stuart Adkins with a big play. The linebacker bit, and Adkins was wide open.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a perfect play. You know, they were looking for that linebacker to bite on the possibility of a run, and just perfect spiral down the sideline. So maybe we could get a tie game here.
All right, toss to Viss. Nobody there. Touchdown, Hilltoppers. They're going to take the lead. All right. So it was a 9-0 game for Tulane, and all of a sudden, here comes Western Kentucky. One big play. All right, so 10. Yes, they get it. So 10-9 here. Down in Tulane. Is this in the heart of New Orleans? I think so.
I could be wrong, but I do believe so.
I may be wrong, but and I think it's Mardi Gras weekend here, IRL, I believe.
I do not know.
Maybe
I could be wrong.
You know, as a California guy, I'm not really up to date on my Mardi Gras news. As here comes Potes. So now, all of a sudden, you were up 9-0, feeling good about yourself, and then a couple bad drives, 3 straight drives of throwing it short of the line of scrimmage, and Potes finds himself without a lead. How fast the script can flip in these games. So Potes now 2nd and long. They keep finding themselves in long 2nd and 3rd downs. We've got Slaughter here. He stiffies 1. He gets about 5. And it's because they've started throwing the ball more. They've gotten away from Slaughter. They've gotten away from the read option. So they need to find what was working on those first couple of drives. So 3rd and 4 here. And throw, it's going to be a screen pass Slaughter, but they get out there and they bring them down. A massive play there from the defensive tackle. Snuffing that out. He read him like a book. That play recognition coming into play there. and 3-0. So Western Kentucky is thriving here in the second quarter.
Yeah, and I mean, what you're seeing from Western Kentucky is Huey just making quick on the fly defensive adjustments, and it's been really good to see that Tulane's only offense that's worked right now. It's struggling because do we really think Tracy Potes can just continue to pass like he has and just for Tulane to win the game? No. So it's going to be really interesting how the rest of this game pans out.
As we're going to get some Wildcat here to start the drive. So Yui with some trickery as they're going to give it to Michael Brown, and that doesn't go anywhere. Tulane was ready. Keon Thomas, the corner in the back.
I think he killed a man. Oh, oh my God.
All right, 2nd and 12 now. So, and that's what can happen with those trick plays. If they don't work, they can kill a drive. As we're going to get his safety coming down. Is he going to blitz? He is. And they're going to hand it off to Viss the opposite way. What a call. There goes Viss, and he's going to be short. So 3rd and 1, a chance for Tulane to get off the field. Remember, Western Kentucky does get the ball after half, so they could really, they score here, put some pressure on this Tulane team. As Fox, he's going to get the first down. The defensive end chose wrong. Fox pulled it. And Fox is a very good runner, so you got to watch out for him. Once again, Palmer, bottom of your screen, 1-on-1. Fox, he has time over the middle, and that's an overthrow. That's one thing both these quarterbacks struggle with is accuracy, and it's really a theme for a bunch of group of 5 quarterbacks. So 2nd and 10, we're at the 3-minute mark here. Fox could be a screen pass. Viss, he does get it off, and they're unable to track him down. He only gets about 2, though. So a 3rd and 8 incoming, 3rd and long. Leon Fox is 6 for 9 for 68 yards. Safeties once again coming down. They're going to blitz him again. And it's another screen pass, and they can't get him. Wait, they do! They trip up Jackson Viss. He had all the room in the world. And that's going to kill the drive. What a play. We've had multiple drives now ended by outstanding defensive tackle plays.
Yeah, and I mean, this is
fake punt! And it's picked off! They're going the other way! Tulane is gonna score! Tulane!
Bingo!
I can't believe it! Andy Moore! Tyrell Hill! Where was he throwing that? The punter never had a chance!
I just stopped. I'm shocked. I was not expecting that out of Western Kentucky. Very questionable call.
We've only seen perhaps on one hand 3 or 4 fake punts ever here in the SFA live on a game day. Not to mention a defensive touchdown. What?
I'm shocked.
Yeah, that is the second time we've ever seen a touchdown out of a punt formation. We've only ever had 1 punt return for a touchdown, and now we've had a pick 6 on a fake punt. An absolute electric moment here in Tulane as they retake the lead. UE got aggressive. Once again, those trick plays, if they don't work, they can be catastrophic. So now how are they going to respond here? I mean, let's face it. This should be a 10-7 game for Western Kentucky, but they've now given up a fake punt pick 6 and a safety. So they're really shooting themselves in their own foot here early. As Jackson Viss again, it looks like they might be okay just taking this to halftime, regrouping. Remember, they do get the ball back out of the break. So 3rd and 9. And Fox, he's going to throw it here. He floats it, and he hits his man. A beautiful throw to Ben Smith. He was looking for the bubble screen. It didn't work, so Leon Fox faked the other way and then floated it to him. A beautiful pass.
Yeah, and if I'm Western Kentucky, I'm trying to fight for that touchdown just to regain a lead before half, because this has been a atrocity of a first half for Western Kentucky when it comes to, just taking control of the game, because Tulane's been in the driver's seat this entire time.
Yeah, as we get Jackson Viss. And let's be honest, Western Kentucky has been the better offense. Um, as Viss is an elite running back, right? And then we just saw, I mean, it's the reason he's still the starter. Leon Fox, every once in a while, flashes greatness. So, 1st and 10 here for Fox. And floating that one again. Oh my, it's almost picked. Woo. All right. So that time Thomas almost picked that one off. Got lucky there. So 2nd and 10 here. They do have a decent field goal kicker. Remember, it's a 6-point game, not 7. As we roll out left, remember, that's his dominant arm. He fires over the middle. A massive throw there, Laz Palmer. And that was an absolute piss missile over the middle.
And I mean, that move off the line of scrimmage, just easy separation. That's what we've come to expect from Laz Palmer.
Yeah, zipping that right over the linebacker. Remember, Laz Palmer has a massive frame, so you can put it up there, 6.5 to 7 feet up, and he'll just snag it. So handoff here, Viss, and the cornerbacks once again getting involved in the run game, and that's just never good, especially when you're trying to run to the outside. So split back set, 50 seconds left here in the first half. Fox. He has time. He's going to take off. He does have room this time. He finds room up the middle. Down the... Oh, and a massive hit from the safety. No regard for human life.
He gets up like it's nothing. That's crazy.
So 3rd and inches, 43 seconds left. Yeah, that was all adrenaline as we get Laz Palmer going out. Fox keeps it, and he goes inside the 5. So Tulane desperately trying to hang on to the lead here before halftime. 1st and goal. Clock is ticking here. 2 timeouts for the Hilltoppers. They hand off to Viss, and he goes nowhere. Stacked up in the backfield, and that was Leon Fox picking wrong there on the read option. He should have kept that up the middle, and those veers are so hard to read. So 2nd and goal. Clock still ticking. No timeouts, so... I mean, I guess they just want to bleed the clock here. Fox over the middle and overthrows him again.
Yeah, and I mean, you saw the top of your screen as well as I did. Wide open wide receiver in the end zone.
Yeah.
Very, very questionable throw by Leon Fox.
All right, so one play here, or they'll take the field goal, fakes it to Viss on the run, floats it and overthrown. Leon Fox just never set his feet there. So they're going to bring out the field goal unit, only about 26 yards here to push it back within 3. And remember, they do get the ball back after halftime. So the kick is up, and it is good. 16-13 here in Tulane. And I'll be honest, if I'm a Western Kentucky fan or Yui, I'm happy with the score right now, considering everything that's gone on. So, I'll take the 3 points and just try to settle down after halftime, as we're going to get one more play here before we head to the showers. So are they going to run a play or no? They're just going to run victory formation here. Getting a little cocky in the first half. As we hit halftime, it is 16-13, and in Cryo, how is your home field shirt you're wearing right now?
Oh, it's just great. I just got word that we are running the same joke twice. I mean, that punter who tried throwing that pass was not wearing home field apparel, some of the most comfortable apparel in the game with new shirts. Like you said, some Massachusetts shirts coming in. So, it's kind of, it's going to boost my Massachusetts ego. But yeah, use code SFA for 15% off. What a we saw everything that in that first half.
Yeah.
I was not expecting, first of all, wasn't expecting a fake punt. Then for it to get returned for a touchdown is insane. So
that was such a poor throw. Had the first guy almost overran it, and had he overrun it, there was another guy right there ready to pick it off. It was just the worst pass perhaps in SFA history. As it did catch me off guard, but it didn't catch Tulane, and that is props to Coach Legacy and this defensive coordinator, the special teams coordinator, being ready for anything, coaching their guys up. And I want to go back to that controversy that they had a couple of weeks ago. This is a very, very tight-knit locker room. They don't let anything faze them. So, and it really showed there as George Love doesn't get much. He is one of the few people in SFA history to have a kickoff return for a touchdown on stream. He did it in a watch party last year. Fun little fact. Yeah. All right. So we'll see how Yui settled down the troops at halftime. We'll see how they respond here as Fox going to take off, and he stumbles around a bit. He does end up getting 4.
Yeah, going back to what you said earlier, and I heard, after that controversy that they banned the app Discord from the locker room. So I think that really made people tight-knit. It was sort of a band together moment. So good for Maddox.
Interesting that they didn't ban OnlyFans, but okay. 2nd and 6. All right. Leon Fox here. Only 4-man rush. He does swing that out to Jackson Viss. He tries to make the most of it, but it's so hard when you give your running back almost no field to work with, as that pass was just way too late, especially when you run that to the short side. And Ross Sykes, have yourself a day. He is a middle linebacker, but he's extremely low rated, like mid-60s. So this is proof that a low-rated player can help you. As we get a 3rd and 8 here. Fox steps up, yams it down the seam. Oh, and it's almost picked. That would have been a beautiful dive. And that's just a case where Fox, he can't put it on a rope. He tries to put it on a rope all the time. If you just put a little air under that, you probably had a touchdown. So a 3 and out now. Tulane is going to have a chance to extend the lead. Oh, and that was almost a gruesome injury. Luckily, Kelvin Harris didn't have his legs pinned under him.
Yeah, and I think what you're seeing is Leon Fox thinks everyone is Laz Palmer in the case of he can just put it on a rope and they can make the throw. Not everyone's Laz Palmer, if we're going to be honest.
As we get out to Slaughter here, he turns upfield and gets about 3. Tracy Potes here. Coming out, he's never lost in his collegiate career. He's 7 for 11 for only 37 yards. Talk about a system QB. Ew. As we get 2nd and 7 here. Slaughter gets carries, get counter, and this is a big man. Oh, look at him go! Slaughter just shrugging off arm tackles. Look at him with that cut. He makes him look foolish. He's an 85 speed running or fullback. I don't know where they found this freak. But let him cook. So we're inside the 35 now, and as long as Tulane gets back to the running game, man, they could be dangerous. Another handoff to Slaughter. He gets past a linebacker. He's still running. He gets 9. Up to 70 yards now, and surprisingly he only has 9 carries. I would lean into him, give him the Whoopty Tibbs workload, because he has been very impressive. As we get a 2nd and 1 here. Potes. And they find Slaughter. Remember, he's a receiving fullback. He's a do-it-all guy. And that's just a little thing to keep in mind if you guys are playing NCAA 14 yourself. You can find some very good receiving fullbacks that can play a variety of positions, even like 1-stars. So if you're ever doing like a extremely hard dynasty with only 1-stars, or like what I do with Navy, you could look at the fullbacks. There are some good ones. So 2nd and 8 here. We're inside the 10. Tulane trying to extend the lead here. Then we're on triple option. Potes, and he's not gonna flip it, and he gets hit hard, and he's still down. Oh man.
Yeah. I believe he is going to be okay, but hot take, that was the right play, the right call to just keep in, just consume the hit. The person he was going to pitch it to was running into a wide receiver who was trying to block, so that could have been
nobody
monumentally
there!
bad.
Touchdown, Slaughter! Nobody saw the screen come in. Slaughter gets his 2nd touchdown of the game. Just a masterful play design there as they retake the lead. Re-extend it to 10. So this could be the biggest lead of the game for Tulane.
I mean, perfectly run play. They've been running, those mid running back, passes, or like just straight up running the ball. And they've had success on that. And it's one of those cases where you've mentioned it before. they snooze on the run that way, or they commit a lot to the run where they snooze on the passes as a result, which is exactly what Tulane does. They're not going to be a team that's going to blow out a team 45-7. They're not going to wow you, but they're going to keep games close and win those close games.
So now, once again, this Western Kentucky team, they battled back from 9-0. Can they do it again? Can they avoid those critical errors? You got Leon Fox making a play now. He gets 8. Oh no, and we got an injury, not Leon! Oh, the coaches come out, and I'm in the Surrenderer Cobra right now. I do not want a Leon Fox injury. So now we got Flowers out here. Remember, Maximus Mays, he is redshirted, so he can't come in. And we get a big play here. Chuck Sledge over the middle. You cannot. We'll gotta wait and see how long will Leon Fox be out. Can he return to this game? Because we got Gerald Flowers subbing in. He's a pocket passer. So a different type of a guy. They got to adjust the offense now. He is a better thrower, though, than Leon Fox. As you run quick option, and that's just not going to work well with Gerald Flowers. Oh, man. I'm just waiting for it to pop up. It seemed bad. The coaches had to come out there. So 2nd and 12. Flowers, can they figure something out? They're going to run option again, and he can't flip it out. The entire offense may have to change if Fox misses some time. So a 3rd and long now. Safety's coming down. Not really respecting the pass as delivers a strike to Palmer. He tries to fight, and he's short. But an opportunity to probably go for it here now. But they're not going to. But remember, we got to watch a fake punt. No fake this time, as they're going to angle this to the outside. They are going to pin him back a little bit. Nice return, though. Breaking a couple of tackles. Gets back to around the 20. As we're still waiting to see if if Leon Fox. No, he has a PCL strain in the knee. He's going to miss a couple of weeks, so not returning to this game. Oh, dear. As Potes now, he's down the sideline. Tracy Potes with green grass in front of him. No one's going to catch him. Tulane. The wave rolls. 80-yard touchdown for Tracy Potes.
I mean, he shut me up. What an outstanding run by Tracy Potes, fooling the entirety of the defense. It is potato season in Tulane.
And, I mean, let's be honest. You lose your starting quarterback on one side to a PCL strain now. All the wind is out of that sideline, and then you give up an 80-yard run. I think the fat lady is singing here in the 3rd quarter. As we'll see if they can. Oh, we go airborne. George Love.
Yeah.
So talk about adversity, man. Western Kentucky going through it.
And I mean, yeah, obviously the quarterback change is devastating because Leon Fox is the better player. But this backup, I mean, his first drive was promising. You know, he's making throws that Leon Fox was sort of scared to make in that early part of the game. So we'll see how it goes.
As Jackson Viss tries to do it himself here. He breaks 3. He gets 13. As now we're going to have to see some Jackson Viss hero ball. I think if UE can eliminate the like option plays, then they should be okay. As they run one here, and that goes nowhere. This is just such a tough. I mean, it was like a dream season last year. And now season 14 just hasn't gone their way at all. They had the beautiful win against Missouri, but now, you know, Leon Fox is injured, staring 1-4 straight in the face. This is a dark time for Western Kentucky fans.
So, this is definitely not how they shaped their season to come out to.
No, yeah. So 3rd-14, we'll see if they can convert. You got Laz Palmer top of your screen. And, they're covering that up. It's going to be a sack here. Gerald Flowers can't do anything there. Everything was just bottled up. And this Tulane defense, man, they swarm, they cover, they are playing so well. Oh dear.
The story of this game is just the defense. The defense has been outstanding here, and
Yeah.
rightfully so. I mean, this defense has, shocked a lot of people, and they just continue to, we keep saying that, like, is Tulane legit? And they keep proving that they shut down any offense that's thrown in front of them. So when they face LSU, who's possibly maybe a ranked team, we know Llama's history, and that could be a really impressive win.
And Tulane's doing this on 14 less plays. That's insane. As they're going to run more option here with Potes. He goes down this time. Doug Lee on the tackle. But yeah, I mean, Tulane, very impressive. You got to think right now, it's them or Louisiana that are at the head of the Conference USA table right now. And that game is going to be in week 13, so that will be a fun one. You know, obviously can't count your chickens before they hatch. Could always get another injury, but just the way they're playing. I mean, this is like, once again, forget record for a second. Western Kentucky is a good team. You don't win conferences just willy-nilly. It's a tough thing to do. But I think now, after this performance and after this game, I think a lot of Western Kentucky fans and really the coaching staff are kind of going to be counting down the days until Maximus Mays III takes over next season.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Western Kentucky, of course Leon Fox goes down. So, I mean, competing went out the window the moment that they lost a few games here and there. But I mean, this is a good, rebuilding year. I feel like this is a good chance for having freshmen just show what they can do. It's a good team building year. Obviously, a lot of recruiting could go in the way of Yui.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
big budget
it
here,
could go
yeah.
many ways. Yeah,
Big
it
big
could go
budget.
many ways.
And you also, like, if you're not really caring about the season necessarily, like, if bowl eligibility is out of the way, you can start experimenting with different offenses, or so we'll see what Western Kentucky decides to do. As I don't think the right move is to burn the red shirt for Maximus Mays and just throw him in there right now, because I mean, you're already 5 games deep. I don't think, especially with like an Appalachian State in your division, I don't think there's much hope to win the division and repeat as conference champions at this point. But yeah, I mean, tough sledding here, but we'll see if they can do something. Gerald Flowers, he is a decent thrower. Just got to eliminate the run game, as he does connect over the middle, and Chuck Sledge gets 10. But once again, both these quarterbacks channeling their inner Kirk Cousins and just throwing it short. So 4th and 2 here. This has been a horrible third quarter for Western Kentucky. You lose your quarterback and give up 2 touchdowns. So we're going to see Tulane take back over here as we head to the 4th. And it's definitely a statement game for Tulane. Obviously, I wrote him off in my G5 ladder. Everybody kind of wrote him off after that story broke that Tibbs did, in fact, full tear of the pectoral and would miss extended time. So I think this game is basically telling the world they can do it with anybody. It's a good program. They don't have to rely on one player, and that's the beauty of football. It's never just one player, unless quarterback. But
Yeah, but I mean, the one thing you've seen about Tracy Potes is, like, he really isn't too keen on passes yet. And I mean, true freshman, you're going to see that from those types of people. But he's been able to prove himself as an athletic freak with being able to run the ball, which is really promising if you're a Tulane fan.
yeah, and we get a broken tackle for Slaughter. There he goes. But I want to compare Potes to kind of like the Ravens in the playoffs, basically. So, like, the Ravens in the playoffs, with that incredible defense, you're not gonna have to score a ton of points to get the win. So Potes doesn't necessarily have all that pressure to throw the ball and score 35 every single time he's on the field. So if they're in a close game, I think they will end up folding. But there goes Potes down the sideline. But when you're in these types of games where your defense is giving you 14 or they give up 13, they help you with 9 points of their own. Like the defense has scored 9 points today. It's not been Potes. He only has 3 touchdowns. So anytime your defense is helping you like that, it really helps the freshman. As we'll see if they can punch it in here. First and goal, Potes goes nowhere. That's crazy, though, to think about right now, is that this Tulane offense is all they would have to have done so far in this game is score 4 points to be tied. If they did nothing else. It flips that out to Slaughter. Nice tackle there from Leroy Wilson. He would have scored. Or that's Finley, not Wilson. The other safety.
And I can sort of compare Tulane to sort of like a hybrid like New York Giants type team where you have a stud in Whoopty Tibbs who is a power back, but I can kind of relate him to Saquon Barkley as he's been the focal point of the offense. And then you have someone like like a rookie Odell in Laz Palmer, someone who you can just throw it up to him in those key moments and get the spot for it. But obviously, the bad part is the quarterback. But it's one of those things where if you have that elite defense, you can sort of get away with that.
So can they hit this? They do. All right, so the bad kicker converts, gives them a 20-point lead here. As you saw Finley make another great play on that third down. Impressed by that kicker, man. I didn't think he had that in him. I thought they're going to go for it on fourth and 25. But here comes Western Kentucky. I mean, 3 scores. It's not out of the realm of possibilities. I mean, hey, just last week, or just on game day, we saw, Iowa almost erase like a 20-point deficit in the fourth quarter. So anything is possible.
Yeah, and also a fun fact: that 60 overall kicker just kicked twice as long as the Iowa kicker. So
no,
very
Willie Anderson slander, no. Leave it Willie alone. He just had a sore foot. He's battling a stress fracture. Come on now.
Okay, yeah.
It wasn't reported. He's just battling a bit of a stress fracture. He'll be all right. All right, so 2nd and 2 here. It actually might be advantageous for Western Kentucky right now to be down by a couple of scores because it's going to cause Flowers to throw the ball more, which is what he's supposed to do and not run this typical offense that they run and ruin the drive. So we'll see if they can maybe get a touchdown or two. That time, the receiver wasn't ready. It hit him right in the dome. Flowers delivered a missile. And that's a product of, your backup quarterback not being familiar with your receivers, the timing being off. He put it right on him, and he just never saw it. So Tulane getting the ball. It's on the ground, but they pick it up, and a big hit. This game has had everything.
I think I've never seen a game in the SFA be entertaining on all 3 phases of football. So this has been a very entertaining watch, even though it seems like Tulane's been controlling the game for the most part.
And we get a broken tackle. He somehow throws it right in his breadbasket. James Whitaker saving a terrible pitch. We almost had a Boss Hennessy 2.0 right there. And that's where the freshman, tries to do too much. He probably should have just eaten the loss there, but it worked out. And sometimes, that just works out for you. Everything's kind of falling Tulane's way today as they're going to transition into this 6-minute offense, start running the clock, seeing if they can shorten the game. Get out of here with a win. They throw that to Slaughter and another big-time tackle. Gotta say, man, there's Finley again. I've been very impressed with him on the last couple of drives. I believe he is a very young, strong safety, so that's his 4th TFL from the strong safety spot.
Yeah, and I mean, in general, you've talked about it before. This is 2 straight weeks on Patreon Watch Party where fullbacks have been sort of stepping into the limelight. And I mean, with this guy being a redshirt freshman, you got to assume that Maddox is probably going to try and get this guy more reps going forward, especially with Whoopty Tibbs out. Maybe he starts.
Dude, imagine a full Oregon offense with Whoopty Tibbs and Scott Slaughter. That is like a fever dream of having like very good power backs in an option setting. So that's wild. Is there was a good throw from Poach. He only has 65 yards through the air. He hasn't been stellar through the air. Let's not get it twisted here. But he made the throw there. So we're under 5 minutes now. They're going to continue to run the clock. This probably is going to wind up being one of the last 1 or 2 drives. So we'll see if they can continue to take the time off the clock and bleed it with the run game. Remember, this is where you win the game, with your run game in the fourth quarter. Shortening the game, shortening possessions. And that's what Michigan is going to try to do on game day here on Saturday. Is they do not have a quarterback. They have their backup at John Hewson.
Yeah, and if once we got a second, because this game is as over as it could be, but how about Maryland?
Ooh.
Maryland is a wagon right now. The entirety of the SFA
Maryland.
is, my God. I think it was like 40 people who voted for them on the poll. It's going to be a really good game day.
You take down Ohio State, right? You're going to raise some eyebrows. And Maryland is just kind of one of those programs. It's kind of an SFA darling of sorts, especially to the old heads, because when we added recruits, they were one of the first teams to make a turnaround from like a user. So it's just one of those kind of, it just feels right as we get Poach. He gets down to the 1. But yeah, having Maryland be competitive again, it just feels right. They actually have, I think, 4 or 5 seasons straight of being 5-7. So first and goal here. Can Poach add to the score? They're going to throw it. Corner blitz picked up and out of the back of the end zone. Nice play from Poach, just getting that away.
And if you're a Tulane coach, it's interesting because you should feel satisfied about this game, but at the end of the day,
touchdown,
there we
Poach.
go.
There we go, up to 40.
There we go.
So you said this is not
points.
A team that's going to blow people out 45-7. We're getting there.
We are, but I think it's just because the game was out of hand really quickly. The fake punt kind of just sealed the deal for me.
Well,
but
yeah. I think the game obviously was just completely over as Okay, I got it off. Phew. Oh, good. I'm glad I didn't spoil this. This is a good game.
Yeah.
Oh, man, this is a beauty. Oh, my God. So many yards. So many touchdowns. Oh, I can't believe that happened. Oh, that upset. Oh, crazy.
I know you're looking at Darren Archer, but you don't have to just say it out loud.
Oh,
my goodness.
no, a Darren Archer season-ending injury.
Oh, no.
All right, so we're going to get another return here. But, yeah, like we were just talking about before we got interrupted by a studio update, is this game was lost when Leon Fox went down. The life just got taken away from, you could tell, from the offense, from the defense, and then they gave up an 80-yard touchdown to Tracy Poach, right? So the injury definitely ruined this game for them. As nice throw there though from Gerald Flowers, and I think we're going to see a playbook change from you, because I don't think it's worth wasting a red shirt on Maximus Mays, as we were talking about earlier. So I think that you got to go with Gerald Flowers for the rest of the year, or at least for the next 2 weeks, and then change the offense to fit his style better. As dumping that one off, that's not going to go anywhere. Chuck Sledge. So just over 2 minutes left here. We'll see if we can get any more high-powered or nice plays, I guess. Flowers is going to keep it. We'll see him running. And he gets a first down. Look at him go. Nice little 10-yard scamper. He's averaging negative 8.8 yards a carry.
Yeah, but going back to what I said, if you're Tulane, how are you feeling about Tracy Poach? Because, he's having a outstanding rushing game, but he hasn't even cracked 80 passing yards. And I know that the offensive weapons are sort of, few and far between for Tulane, but, if you're expecting someone to be the guy in the offense, you can't get bailed out by defense forever.
Well, I think that I'm just going to compare him to East Carolina, because I think that we don't, we don't really run the exact same kind of an offense, but at ECU, it's Vanilla Vic and then everybody else. He is the star of the show. Tavarius Trace is just a means of feeding Vanilla Vic the ball. So if Trace has, you know, 60 pass yards, I don't care. I actually think it's a good thing that he's not taking production away from my guys who are actually going to do well. And you know what? He does keep it from time to time, helps us out here and there, and he makes a play every once in a while. But that when that is a game manager, and I think Potes in his freshman year, you have we get a face mask. We don't see that too often. But when you get in a situation like this where you've kind of struck gold with your running back, Whoopty Tibbs, right? You've struck gold with this fullback here in Scott Slaughter. I don't think you want to take those touches away from him or, risk throwing the ball. So I think production takes a back seat in these kind of offenses. Because, it doesn't really tell you exactly what happened on the field. Because I'll say Potes has made some great decisions in the option game.
Yeah, and no, I was gonna say he's been making, at least some throws. It's not like he has 30 pass yards. At least he's looking like, a quarterback that can make throws. But I think Whoopty Tips not being here, it's gonna force this fullback into the limelight.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be really interesting how Potes goes on with this because you can only do so much with a running back.
So is Western Kentucky gonna score? Are they gonna make it look a little bit better on the stat sheet? 40-20 sounds a lot nicer than 40-13. So it's gonna be a 4th and 5, or do they just take the field goal? No, they're gonna go for it here. So 4th and 5, 10 seconds left. Oh, they may not even snap it here. Clock did not stop. They are gonna snap it. Flowers. He's going open, man! No, there's a flag! Waited too long. Unfortunately, once again, the offensive pass interference is going to hit him. Oh, that's just kind of the day for you if you're a Western Kentucky fan. So, 4th and 15 from the 19 here. Can they get a touchdown? Flowers again. Over the middle, it's caught, but it's going to be a turnover. And as we hit triple zeros here in Week 6 Watch Party, how about the green wave as they continue to roll through every competition? Today, Tracy Potes and Scott Slaughter, they were incredible, but the story of the day was the defense. A safety and a special teams touchdown off a fake punt really solidified Tulane as a contender despite the Whoopty Tibbs injury, as I cannot wait to see more. And let's just call a spade a spade. Rank Tulane, folks. Rank Tulane. I'm going to be ranking them. This defense is insane. Holy Toledo. All right, so we'll check on stats, and then we'll get on out of here, out of the VOD if you're watching. But yeah, crazy game, guys. Yui, I am sorry that did not go according to plan at all. That was definitely a rough one from a Western Kentucky standpoint. All right, so let's check out the stats here. Scoring summary first, as always. Let's start out with safety, then touchdown. Battle back, took the lead here, and then do we have a replay? We do. Okay, so what were we thinking here? All right. So obviously, okay, he's open right now, but they're not really. What? If you're gonna throw it to number 2, right? He has.
I was gonna say, or you have the seam up the left side. I mean,
yeah,
he beat the defender by a step, but that is just.
Or how about running it yourself to the right side? I mean, that's better than this. Anything's better than this. Remember, oh my God. And then he almost stumbles with this move right here. I thought he was going to get caught, but it turned on the afterburners. Oh my God. Unbelievable.
Those 75 overall speed afterburners, let me tell you.
And then we had, obviously, Potes with his 80-yarder. All right, so let's take a look at the stats here. Potes, once again, 65 yards to the air. That's just not going to cut it. 1 pass touchdown. And rushing 191 yards for Potes today. Oh, my.
Oh,
Obviously, there was an
Jesus.
80-yarder, right? But 111. Slaughter got 100. The run game is alive and well. This is a running system, right? So don't have to do too much through the air. And defensive-wise, they got the tackles. A lot of tackles for loss today. Oh, my. A lot of TFLs. And 4 sacks. Like, they just lived in the backfield today. Look at this. 4, 10, 13, 15, 19 tackles for loss. You're not going to win a lot of games if you are going down behind the line 19 times. And he's got 3 deflections here. Like, this is a defense to be reckoned with. Like, watch out, folks. And so let's take a look. And, I mean, what? A 0 rating for Tyrell Hill. Flowers, 7 for 9. His throwing was fine. So he should be okay taking over the offense for a couple of weeks. You just got to change the playbook, obviously. This did well as well. So I think the whole thing today was just negative plays and those big, dumb turnovers, right? Sledge was actually pretty impressive. They kept Laz Palmer pretty well contained. And then on defense, I was very impressed with Michael Finley here. 7 TFLs for them, but no sacks. They couldn't pick off Potes at all. No fumbles, no weird pitches, no deflections. So is kind of where they lost it. So that's going to end watch party for us today. I won't check players of the game because I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. So that's where we're going to end it here. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and game day will be Saturday.